know it's hard to get black folks to talk about the paranormal, but I wanted to talk to my grandmother about Dogman to see if there's anything she could tell me. Hell, she's 91 years old, quick as a whip, and that led to her telling me all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to start with the Rougarou or Dogman, but oh boy do I have some stuff for you. So, her uncle, they called him Handsome because he was the most handsome man in town. And by town, we ain't talking about modern day amenities. Back in them days, they were poor, but they had their pride and they worked hard. We're talking about them old color purple days. Well, Handsome was a musician. He went to the juke joint, played the guitar, could sing, and all the women lost their minds over him. But he had a rule. He never ever messed with no married woman. Nonetheless, the other black men got jealous of all the attention, and one day he's playing at the juke joint and a fella pulls a revolver, starts shooting at him from the back row. Handsome runs out of the back door, and the four of them chase him into the swamps. Now he's hiding up in the moss-covered trees with moss all over his body, listening to them plot as to how they're going to kill him. They search a bit longer, and they leave, saying, "That nigga gotta go home. We gonna get his ass when he go home." So he stays in that tree all night till morning. When he comes down, he goes back to the juke joint to see about getting some money so he can leave town. The owner was a cutthroat bastard, told him to sit right there and wait. He needed to go home to get more money. So the owner leaves, goes to find the guys who wanted to kill him because he didn't want to pay Handsome his performance fee. But her uncle, Handsome, was smart, had a bad feeling. So he left and went into the woods on the back of the juke joint, right? He waited and watched as all those men went in the door looking for him. Then he ran home to get some clothes and decided to leave town with what he had. Well, he's on his way out of town and sees the local hoodoo priestess. The lady loved him. She loved his music. But she was married. But she asks him where he's going, and he tells her he's got to get out of town because they're trying to kill him. When she asked him why they were trying to kill him, had he messed with one of their wives, he says no, but he wasn't sticking around. So instead of letting him leave town, she took him home. In a back shed, she made a token for him and told him to go into the woods and sit, that the men will come looking for him. And when they do, run deep into the swamps until something stops you from running. And when it stops you, stand still, don't move. Wait, look and listen and see what happens to those men. Now, in exchange for her help, she demanded that he make love to her. So he did. Then he took that token and headed into the woods. At sundown, sure enough, 5 men came looking for him. So he fled into the swamps, mosquitoes, water, waist deep, mud. But he kept moving, staying ahead of the men pursuing him, even when they were firing shots at him. Somehow, he managed to lose them. But now he's tired, so he's resting, leaning up against a tree. And when he looks up, there it is, the Rougarou, a wolf-like beast on all fours coming down the side of a tree. It sniffs the hair on his head, growls, then hops down from that tree and went in the direction of the other men. And that's when her uncle stood there, frozen. The man didn't move an inch. And he heard them dying one by one. Hours passed. He stood there, too afraid to move. Tired and exhausted, he fell asleep leaning on that very same tree. The next morning, he goes back into town, and the first person he saw was the hoodoo priestess. She told him that he was free of the evil men who hated him. Well, now, Handsome went back to that juke joint and demanded his money, and the owner paid all of it to him. Then offered him part ownership in the business, saying that he could be the in-house entertainment, that instead of him getting paid, they could start splitting the proceeds from the door and the bar. Well, Uncle Handsome refused, took his money, and left town. Now, Grandma told me the next time she saw him was 5 years later. He was an apparition, sitting on the front porch. Everyone wondered what happened to him. She was the only one that knew he had died.